Hola! Welcome to Tuesday, December 7th. Skipped yesterday. Yesterday's a Monday, gamed with my buddies, was fun. Good. Today is movie day. And I think I want to start with a movie right away. Just got off work. Because, theoretically, I'll be getting Curriculum of Chaos, the new D&D book. Now, I am giving a shot to Amazon on this book. Instead of going up to my friendly local gaming store, which I like to support, I decided to order it through Amazon, and they claim it's going to arrive on the delivery day. Now, their current shipping says by 10, and if it arrives at 10, I'm already in bed, and it might as well not arrive till tomorrow. So, who knows how they're going to do. But we'll see. But I'd like to start reading the book today. Now, the book seems to be like half Adventure Path, so I figured this is a good one to risk getting it late. I don't know. It's like $15 cheaper on Amazon. I like supporting my friendly local gaming store, but man, that can make things tempting. I'm sure assuming it works out, I'm sure I'll still continue to at least mix it up and occasionally get it there. But, anyways, hopefully it arrives within like an hour and a half, and as soon as my movie finishes, I can get my book, start reading. But who knows? We'll see. And thinking about what movie to watch, I'm like, okay, I've been kind of going with a certain pattern, going back and forth to like some James Bond movies from this shelf, talk about that later. But I'm like, let's break the pattern. This shelf's got availability. Let's go with Home Alone. It's like December. This is kind of a Christmas adjacent movie. Let's watch Home Alone. And Home Alone is a classic film that I recall from my youth, and I will give it, even now, an 8.2 out of 10. It's well thought out, but to read from the back of the box, 8-year-old Kevin McAllister, Macaulay Culkin, has become the man of the house overnight. Accidentally left behind when his family rushes off on a Christmas vacation, Kevin gets busy decorating the house for the holidays, but he's not decking the halls with tinsel and holly. 2 bumbling burglars are trying to break in, and Kevin's rigging a bewildering battery of booby traps to welcome them. And that right there, that description, that addresses one of the things that I find interesting about this movie. When I think about Home Alone, I think about the burglars going through the traps and like, basically the movie in my brain, after some time from seeing it, goes from the point where Kevin's planning his traps to burglars are caught and all the chaos that ensues there. And that is a very small part of the film. That is the film's climax. It is the high action scene. It is awesome, and it's cool, and it's exciting, and it was very fun for me as a kid to watch that. However, that was a very small portion of the film. The film is, spends a lot of time leading up to that. And I don't know if it's just me as an adult appreciating it, or maybe me as someone who is trained to make films appreciating it. But it is so well thought out. They spend so much time showing a scene that is, here's entertainment, but this entertainment scene is setting up for 1 or 2 other scenes later. Those other scenes either being in the climax or things that they themselves set up for other scenes later, all compiling towards the end. I mean, obviously the story is about mean family upsets Kevin. He wishes they're gone, and then when the power goes out at night, they rush off to the airport, and because he's up in the attic, they forget him. The only ones in the family that I really blame are Buzz, who is deliberately cruel and mean, and does his best to be a bad person. I blame Fuller, who, based on the look as he's drinking soda and staring at Kevin, is aware that he has a problem wetting the bed, and is happy about the idea of peeing on his cousin. Really don't like that kid. Uncle Frank, no specific reason, he just seems like a bad person. I don't blame Kevin. Kevin is 8, and Kevin has emotions. And Kevin has not yet figured out how to manage his emotions. That takes time, and I don't blame him for it. Being a kid's hard. And he's at the point where it's like, okay, family's going away for Christmas, so that's a change, and now we have extended family, and that's a change. Like, he is just overwhelmed through his environment, and me, thinking back on my time as a kid, like, that would be a tough time. And honestly, I don't blame his mother. I know she blames herself, but I don't. She's stressed out. She is putting a lot of pressure on herself. Maybe blame his father. He just doesn't seem to care as much, but I don't know. But anyway, so we get all this stuff, and as we're developing this whole thing, we're just step by step going through, like, you know, when he goes looking around the house, like, you see mannequins in the basement. Which later on, when he sets up for the mannequins to be pretending to be a party at the house, well, yeah, they've established there are mannequins in this house. They've already done that when it wasn't important, so when it is important, they have access to it. When he looks in his brother's room, we see the pellet gun on the wall. I think we see in a room the Michael Jordan cardboard cutout that's going to be in the scene later. You know, he finds the fireworks, and they are used later. He needs to go get a toothbrush. He goes, and he ends up stealing the toothbrush because he's panicked, because his brother has set up paranoia in him from old neighbor guy. And so he steals his toothbrush. And that's not nothing. That sets up the whole fear that he has, that he can't just call the police. He feels that he himself is a criminal, and so when he needs the police, he knows they're the only ones to turn to, but he can't contact them in a conventional way because he feels that he's in trouble. So he has to, like, set it up to get the burglars over to the neighbor's house so that he can call the police on them there. Just step by step, each little bit where things have been set up to motivate things further. I do enjoy following Catherine O'Hara, his mother's story, as she's just trying to get back. I love the point. I think she says something like, "I have been awake for 60 hours." Because she's just on adrenaline. She cannot get to her son, and she cannot contact her son, and it is a panic. And just all she trades to go riding with John Candy, Polka. Some good scenes there. But then at the end, the fact that she had to bounce all around trying to get home and doing everything, that ultimately, if she'd have just waited for the flight that was available and too long to wait, she'd have gotten home 5 minutes later. But she couldn't, because she couldn't relax. She couldn't stop trying to move towards the goal. She couldn't wait for the goal to come to her. She had to keep trying. It's a fun movie. Great plot set up throughout. Definitely one I remember from childhood, so good on them. And it's very Christmassy. I recall it being, kind of Christmas adjacent, but I'd go ahead and say that's a Christmas movie. It's at least as much of a Christmas movie as Die Hard, and from what I understand, Die Hard's a Christmas movie, so Otherwise, I have not heard anything about my book arriving, and my movie is done. I was hoping it would have arrived by now, so I could start reading. Oh well. And the book did arrive around 7, so I do have at least a little time to look through it, beginning to look through it at least. And that's probably going to be the rest of my evening, starting to read through this, hoping to be able to review it this year. But it did at least arrive. That's nice. Thank you for joining me, and join me as my journey continues.